Yeah.
How do?
How do?
How do? Hi guys.
Right, so we're gonna have a little chat today. Got these both these two weirdos.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth. I'm telling you.
I know,
no.
I know.
She'll
No,
end up-
seriously.
She'll end up doing you, Sambo, I'm telling you. Oh, don't kick me, nudge me.
Right, listen. Got these
Lee Marvin and Kira.
yeah,
In the,
so
in
no,
the house.
oh, leave it out, man. Right, so seriously, we're gonna have a chat about relationships today. We are in the future gonna do some live streams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it to them today, just to have a chat. I will intervene if I get a chance.
Yeah.
He's doing one, don't worry.
I know who wants to lead, guys.
I'll do
We're talking about relationships,
Yeah.
aren't
We're
we?
going to talk about a little bit, about relationships and about
How we met.
how we met, even how we met, So there's me, raging drug addict,
Yeah.
just come out of prison,
Yeah.
unlicensed, staying at my niece's house, got a little box room, haven't I? Riding down the road and I see you with that guy, don't I?
No.
And he's just an absolute animal. I know he's got his sister's a working girl. His sister's a prostitute. So I know that kind of man. Any man who lets his sister be a prostitute is just not the type of man I like. So I'd never liked him. And I've seen him a few times with dead young girls on the beat and stuff like that, like down where the prostitutes work and stuff. Because I was around there a lot, because we used to ride around and do little bits of joeying for people, not joeying, but like get bits of scoring.
You felt comfortable there, didn't you?
Yeah, I
for
was
me,
buying drugs for the girls and whatnot.
exactly.
mostly,
You felt comfortable, didn't you?
Yeah. So anyway, I'm riding just not far from there, and I see her with this guy, and I just stopped and thought, nah, that ain't happening. And I went, what are you doing with her? I went, you better leave her alone. I said, if I see you take her on the beat, I swear I'm gonna do you in. And he's like, oh Marv, I'm not doing that, I'm not taking her anywhere, I'm just at the shop buying a drink. Then
Is that your accent?
yeah. So then I went, move, and he ended up going in the shop. So when he's gone in the shop, I'm speaking to her and I said, what are you doing with him and stuff? And she's like, hey, who are you?
See, if I'd speak like that, you don't believe that, do you?
Yeah, and listen. I've seen you when you're on one, and that is exactly how you speak.
Oh, I get it. Tag teaming me today.
No, it's not. No, not at all. I'm on your side. Trust me.
Who are you, she gives it. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not after anything, right? I'm just some guy who knows the streets. And I can see you're young and you're pretty, you're clearly not like on drugs or anything. He will get you on drugs, I said. She's like, he won't get me on drugs. I said, listen to me, that guy's an animal. I said, he gets girls on the beat, just be careful round him, stay away from him. I said, just take my number and just ring me if you ever need me for anything. And it was New Year's Eve, and it was about 11 o'clock or something. And it was everyone was partying, this dead nice vibe, and I just seen like the sadness in her eyes. And when she walked, when I got off, I rode off on my bike, I kind of kept thinking about her, and I rung her and I said, are you okay? She started crying and said, I've just like been beat up off him in the gay village. So I'm like, what? So I flew down to the gay village, so I wanted to get to him, but the bouncers wouldn't let me in the bar. They're like, just leave him in there. So she's there and I went, go on, get on, let's go. So I got it put it on the back, you didn't.
This isn't a motorbike. This is a push bike.
This is a bike. This is a BMX, wasn't it?
Was it?
It was a stunt bike. It was a stunt BMX, yeah.
Oh my God! Was he like your knight in shining armour?
That's it, 6'2" man with his valley
On
on.
a stunt bike BMX, yeah. Bloody hell! I just grabbed off because I was on an estate just near town at the time.
We're going to interject now.
Yeah.
So you can obviously still remember this quite clearly, can't you?
Yeah. Because it's very monumental.
How did you feel? Because you've already said when you told your story, you felt you were isolated. You were struggling with your family contacts. Really, that had sort of gone.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah, I'm listening to it.
Oh, okay. So
It's true.
Were you flattered? Was it like relief, or was it just you didn't really know?
I didn't really know at the time how I felt. Like, because obviously I was still scared of Mark, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And then he comes along.
You kind of eyes kind of lit up, didn't you? As if to say, oh, there's someone who can
Yeah,
challenge him, didn't you?
Yeah, but don't get, like, I knew he was a drug addict. He was scoring drugs, he had him score drugs, but like I said before, like...
Yeah, and I was literally just waiting for a crack dealer to come to sell me crack when I seen this happening. So, like, as I'm talking to her, I seen my crack dealer come. So I've just went 1 minute and I've jibbed off with him. She obviously not stupid, she knows I'm buying crack, don't you?
I don't know, I think I don't...
I didn't, but like, so, anyway, yeah. So what did you feel?
Oh, can I speak now?
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know, I felt like a glimmer of hope, like... I knew that he didn't want me for anything like Mark did, you know what I mean? And, like, I don't know, I just got this vibe off you that, you know, you would protect me. And then when obviously I did get battered and you came back for me, I just thought, yeah, like, he's clearly got his own problems, but, like, even through your own problems, you still wanted to look after me. So that was a big thing. That's when I thought, you know, he's a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you said that. You've always said that, haven't you? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, my thoughts on it was literally I wasn't thinking anything more than, like, having a banter with her, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was having a little joke, I was having a laugh and a joke outside while he was in there. And I just wanted to protect her, really. I just knew that I could, because I knew him, and I knew he was scared of me. So, anyone who's like that, who just forces girls to take drugs, like, people have got to be careful out there, because there's people who will have an ulterior motive to get you on to try a drug, any particular drug.
Well, he already did try with me, didn't he?
He was trying to get you on it, you said, wasn't he?
Crack pipe, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, the next day, I didn't just leave her and forget about you, did I?
No.
I phoned you again, didn't I?
Yeah.
I phoned you again, and I phoned her the next day, and I said, it was New Year's Day, I said, you alright, you? And she said, oh, it's fuck problems, and I was like, fuck this. I thought, I'm not letting, sorry for swearing.
It's alright.
I said I wasn't allowing him to do anything more to her. So, and I had really not much on my own place to go. The only money I was getting was off that Maya, because I was doing that decorating thing in inverted commas.
Yeah.
It was the same time. So she was giving me like 100 quid every day, like, or more sometimes. So I was buying you top-ups and stuff. I bought you a top-up New Year's Day, didn't I?
Yeah.
I said to you, if you need to phone me, because you didn't have no credit, did you? That's why I was ringing, you want
I
it?
didn't have nothing.
And like, yeah. So you told me you was 18, didn't you?
I told you I was nearly 18.
Yeah, alright then.
When I was 16. But we always said that if I had told you I was 16, then you would have just gone.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have. I still would have been there to help you. Of course I would have.
But we've always said, like,
It wasn't about your age. I didn't bother. I wanted to take care of how old you was. You could have told me you was. I just wanted to make sure that you was gonna not get like put on the game.
Yeah, I know that.
You know what I mean? And forced onto crack, because I was a crackhead. So I used to think, I'm not letting this girl get put onto crack, and I'm gonna see her 6 months later on the beat like a crackhead. So I'll tell you a little story of what happened. This beautiful girl who used to work on the beat called Claire. Dead long legs, blonde hair, beautiful, pretty girl. Had her own drug problems. Her sister used to come and see her. So her sister was a university student. So her sister used to come and stand with her just to talk to her. So I knew this girl was lost. And I always used to say to her, just get off the street, get off the street. So I goes to jail, get a sentence. I come out of this sentence and I see I'm in a black cab. This is the day I get out, and I'm looking to go and smoke crack with somebody. So I'm going down the beat to see if there's any girls who I know who can say, come on, do you want to have a smoke with me? Get them off the beat. I've got a few £100 on me, right? So I see her. I said, taxi, stop. So I say, and see her, Claire, how are you? She go, oh man, buzzing. How are you? So I'm saying, how are you doing? So she said, oh sweet. I said, I've got money here. Who you scoring off? So she said, oh, I'm going to Salford. So I've got in a taxi with her and I'm riding down the road and I started smelling this smell. And it was like the most, it's one of those smells what make you never forget, okay? It was a really bad smell. So I kind of put the window down and I looked at her and I said, are you alright? She said, Marv, I've got something to tell you. So I said, go on. She said, I've been injecting. So I'm, oh my God, what did you do touching needles? So she said, look at my leg.
Gangrene.
She's got gangrene in her leg. What they'd been trying to control, and it just gone out of control, and it was just from the top of her kneecap down to her ankle. Like it just looked like
And all that
wound.
smell.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sam, the smell was unforgettable, and I felt so sorry for the girl because I had so much care and love for her and respect for her. And we ended up sitting in her house for a few hours, and we ended up just sharing drugs and just.
Does in most cases the drugs come after they've sort of started working the streets?
Well, what happens with the working girls is they deteriorate so quickly because they're making so much money. So if you're just a grafting, robbing person, a criminal, you've got to commit a crime to go and get your money. You've got to go out, you've got to find something what you can rob, you've got to be able to rob it, you've got to be able to take it, haven't you, and sell it. All that takes time. A working girl can stand on a street corner, make 40 quid, 10 minutes later make another 40 quid, 10 minutes later make a one-er, 10 minutes later make. So what happens with the working girls is you just keep going and going and going, and they start injecting, he starts getting out of hand, and before you know it, they're hitting up with a dirty spoon or something, because that's what happens, isn't it? That's how they get the gangrene. If the spoon or whatever's not perfectly clean, they end up dying of it, literally gangrene off it.
Yeah,
and ultimately you can.
It is the drugs, but it's the method of taking them and things related with that, isn't it? So, you know, it's not necessarily always a heroin overdose.
Oh no, it's not the drugs, is it? Apparently, like heroin's one of the safest drugs on the planet. That's why it's used in medical science and stuff, and it's used, isn't it, as a pain relief. So it is a safe drug to use, but if you abuse it, then that's where you die, and the overdose comes into it.
Sharing needles and stuff like that.
Sharing needles and stuff like that. Yeah, so I had fears for this girl, Kira Rare, about falling into them traps, yeah. So, as I say, I was living at my niece's at the time, so I said to my niece, I phoned her up, said, I've met some girl, she's not a drug addict, but she's got nowhere to stay. And she's
it was at my mum and dad's, and then my mum found out that I'd had a boyfriend because my little brother went through my phone, and she thought, which in her own right, so I was lying, and it was Mark, so she gave me no choice to either split or.
When's this? When we just met one?
Yes,
so
that's
go
what
on.
I just said.
All right.
So, Mr. I like to interrupt.
So
Sorry,
did your mum?
David.
Yeah, my mum just. So I'd been, because I'd been out, I mean, for too long with Mark anyway. I didn't want to be at home. I didn't, you know. They didn't understand me because I didn't tell them what happened. They didn't understand the trauma that I was going through.
Did you feel grown up at this point?
Yeah,
Or not?
well grown up. Like, he'll tell you, when he met me, I went, you'd have a 16-year-old girl. Like, I'd have passed for it in my 20s, obviously because of everything that I'd gone through.
Yeah, you
No, you see 16-year-old girl.
She didn't look. I was 33, right?
She was 29.
So I told her I was 29 when she asked me, because I didn't want her to
come
think
on.
I was some old man, like trying to like get into her. Do you know what
Did
I
he
mean?
look 33?
No,
He looked younger than 29. Don't forget, he's done that many years in jail. He's like a little boy, you know.
Yeah. So I've been a lot of time in prison, but yeah, I didn't want her to think I was some dirty old man trying to get into it. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, we go to my niece's, and my niece has got a couple of kids who are nice children.
And babies, weren't they?
Only babies, yeah. So she clicked with them, didn't you?
Yeah.
She like bonded straight away.
His niece was only a couple of years older than that. She had a 9.
Yeah, she was only a couple of years old.
9 month old and a 2-year-old.
So yeah, so I knew my niece was young, and I knew she was young, and I knew they'd click. So that's why I asked my niece ultimately. I said to her, look, Sherelle, I've met some young girl. She's in a bit of a pickle. She's a really nice girl, right? You know, she can just stay in my room. You know what I mean? Just speak to her, just see if you get on with her at least. Because I know when I phoned her that second time, I could hear it in her voice. She was in trouble. Do you know what I mean? She told me she was in trouble. Told me he was in trouble, didn't you? She said he was in trouble big time. I just wanted to go and find him and just like do, you know what I mean?
I just didn't know how to get out of it. And then when I met you, like, just give me that glimmer of hope.
You
like,
got a glimmer of hope, you felt, didn't you? So yeah.
Because I realised what he really was.
But because I was still on drugs, and I didn't want to bring drugs round here, and I still had to go and get the money for my drugs as well. But luckily, like I say, I had to spend a lot of time at Maya's house, didn't I, Kira? So I was doing the decorating at Maya's house, yeah, stripping the walls in that Strangeways workers' house. Oh, yeah, so it was just one of them things where we just had to get you away from it, didn't we?
Yeah, and you did.
We did. We got you away from him, didn't
Yeah.
we? So yeah, I got her in my niece's house, and I'm coming back, bringing you takeaways and stuff, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Buying you top ups
Because
and
I used to
stuff.
stay.
Is he still taking you around on his bike, like?
No.
Never been on the
I was
bike
out, and I was.
since.
Once she was at my niece's house, I knew she was safe. I was just carrying on.
Let me tell you now, I knew he was a criminal, right? So we're all in the house. Luckily, he was back for his curfew. Weren't you?
I had a curfew.
So we're asleep.
So yeah, I did have to.
His niece and her boyfriend are asleep. The door just goes boom. He jumps up.
Door comes up.
Like startled, shoves a parcel of weed in his mouth, and I thought, and you went, I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna go back to jail, and that's when it clicked.
Did he abscond from Kirkham?
No,
No,
he went in Kirk, and what had happened is he thought the police
The
had
police
come.
was coming for me, but one. Sorry.
You tell him, love.
Ah well. And they've come in, they've gone, where's Lee? And his niece has gone, he's in bed, leave him alone. So they went, we're not here for him, we're here for your boyfriend. He'd been a warrant for a crime anyway, but he like literally
He thought it was
got
me, yeah.
he was petrified, like
He thought it was,
startled.
I literally said to her, right, nice to have met you, but I'm going back to jail and put a big parcel of weed in my mouth. But anyway, it wasn't for me.
And when
so
the police went, you just seen him go.
yeah.
And then I thought, oh right, yeah, he is a proper criminal.
So what was happening at the time then is I was back on my old estate in Mars Platin, so I was back and forth. So, because I always got treated well on my estate. I've never said a bad word about Ancoats people and Mars Platin people. Absolutely the best type of people. Always treated me well, even when I was hungry. They'd always give me food and stuff, and like stop and make sure I'm alright, make sure to give me a bottle of water and whatnot. So I was always treated well off them. So I used to spend a lot of time in Ancoats, even at Mars Platin, even when I was a drug addict. So yeah, I was down there and I was chilling at my mate's house because a big gang of us used to sit in an house with this girl's house. Like a lot of travellers and a lot of Irish families, we used to all sit in this house. We all used to use it as a little base. So we all used to go in there and party. So not hard drugs, just like sitting there and just have a good time, you know what I mean? It was just like, it was all young lads. And I knew the girl, and these was all young lads, so I used to sit in and give them lectures about getting clean and stuff, do you know what I mean? And anyway, I used to sit there giving them lectures, you know, I used to say, look at me, raging crackhead, you know what I mean, can't get off it, try my hardest, look at yous all young lads, you know, like that's what I used to do. Like on my estate, if I ever made a few quid, I'd go down and give the kids under the canal bridge like 20 quid and stuff, you know, to get them a bit of food and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'd always make sure you was alright, wouldn't I?
Always.
I've got to ask you, because he's a drug addict, he's not there a lot of the time, is he?
No.
So, how's that? Explain that, because...
It was hard, but it was confusing because obviously I'd only just met him. Like we did have this connection, like
Yeah, we had
that people didn't see. So it was hard, but obviously because I was living with his niece and the babies, I had a lot of time, to be preoccupied.
Yeah.
And then
So I get breached, don't
I was just getting to that.
I? Oh, sorry.
Over to you, Kira.
Yeah, go over to you, Kira.
Yeah, and then one day he didn't come back. He got breached, and then his niece said that I could stay there. About a week later, like I said, I was at, my sister's, and she phones me and says, "My uncle's just rang. He's in Strangeways. He wants you to wants to speak to you." So I said, "He's gonna be back in half an hour." So anyway, come back, and then
Uncle Marvin, right? I'm with you. Go on.
Yeah.
That's because it's my niece's house.
Yeah. So he rang and he was like, "Hey, babe," and
locked up, didn't I?
Yeah,
said
locked up.
you better look after yourself and stuff. You're locked up, didn't I?
Yeah, but stay
stay here as long as you want.
Yeah.
So I'd asked my niece, could she still stay there even though I was locked up, and she said, yeah, do you know what I mean? So that was a good thing. So I knew she was secure. And then...
Secure.
I came
Yeah,
up to see you,
Keeping an
didn't
eye
I?
on you.
Yeah, what happened
No, he's
was-
always done that, though.
Yeah, I did, yeah. I was keeping an eye on him. What happened was I was on a prison phone when I was talking to you on his phone, on the phone, a contraband phone.
Yeah.
And you broke down and told me what you'd been doing.
Yeah,
like.
that's when you went to a different jail.
Yeah.
I went up and visited you when you first got locked up.
Yeah, yeah. But
And
what
then you
happened
got
is
shipped out, didn't you?
Yeah, you told me over a period of time what he'd been doing to you, didn't you? When
Yeah,
you was
'cause I
young.
felt like I could tell
when
you.
you was young, did you remember? Did you not tell
Yeah.
me? Did you not tell me you'd done something to you when you was underage, didn't you?
Yeah.
And that's when I was convincing you to go.
Yeah, when I was 15, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll tell you bits when you was out, but then when you went to jail, I found it easy, you know, putting
She
a pen
found
to
it easier to
paper,
tell me,
speaking
yeah.
over the phone,
So then,
you know, getting it all out.
yeah. So then I was I was convincing you to go to the police, wasn't I?
Yeah, because he kept saying, you'd be ass if you go to the police and,
Yeah. So
you know, glass me up.
So he's beating her up.
Yeah.
He's doing all these kind of things to her, right? And my point was, not even that, I would have told her to go anyway, but because he was doing it when she was a minor, and when she told me that he had kids in his house, youngsters younger than her, school kid age, I said to Akira, you have got to go to the police. He is a danger to children. He is like a monster. Didn't Akira?
Mm-hmm.
She told me there was runaways in his house and stuff going to his house from children's homes. They're underage, they're 13, 14-year-old kids. So I was adamant I was not letting that happen. I don't care what anyone says, anyone could call me anything. I was not letting a man even lever a woman just that on its own, but an underage girl, child, no way was I letting that happen. So I begged her to phone the police, didn't I?
No, the police was already involved, but I wasn't working with him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I
Is
begged
that
her
why
to work with them.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
was
Back to
calling
the
me
old grass again,
Yeah,
innit?
calling me
Yeah,
a
well,
gas.
yeah, that was it. The police was involved, but I was begging you to work with them, wasn't I?
Yeah, and then eventually I did, because obviously, like I said, he was following me everywhere. He was still battering me. He knew that Marv was locked up. Like, he was just grinding me down to the ground. Literally, he was gonna kill me, and he knew what he was gonna do. So then, when I was living with his niece, it was time to go. He was getting too comfortable there, so I moved into
What do you mean too comfortable?
She's got her own family, like boyfriends. You know,
Do you
she's
feel
been
like you were
released.
sort of impeding on their life?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'd been there for a few months, like, even though she was never saying, like, go. And then I was, obviously then, you know, I met that group who, you know, started doing cards with, credit card fraud with. So I moved into the hostel, and then, you know, the police used to come and visit me in the hostel, and then I felt like, right, I could do this, because I was speaking to him over the phone, over letters, and he was saying, you can do it, you know, you're strong, you can do it. I remember the day when we went to court, and I still wouldn't even go in. I was just so scared. And then I remember coming home, I went to stay at my mum's that night in my old bedroom, and I did all
Did he go
this.
guilty, no trial?
Yeah, he went guilty, because we did a plea, because he was,
Yeah.
you know, he was going to rip me apart on the stand, because the crime that he committed, I was 16, so we took a plea. He got 5.5 years anyway, and then that night I went and stayed at my mum's. But
He got off with the underage crime against you, didn't did it?
no,
get
he
laid
got
on file?
he got the done with the grooming.
Oh, right,
And he got
yeah.
done with sexual
Yeah.
offences when I was
Yeah,
15. But the thing that happened on New Year's Eve,
Right.
because I'd already gone to a legal age, he was claiming it was, you know, we was in a relationship.
Yeah,
But then I
that's
remember
what he was
going back to my mum's and feeling guilty. Like, I got someone locked up. Like, I'd never.
People do, it's wrong.
No, I'd never had anything to do with the law in my life.
Yeah, you're not a criminal,
before.
that's not-
No, I know, but I'm saying at the time that's how I felt. Do you know what I mean?
You know what I want to ask you? I'm going to ask you in one of our chats, but as always, he just put me to one side. I completely understand in situations, yes, right? So the judge obviously had a word with you, said, right, I'll give this guy this. If you go to trial, this might happen, he might get off or whatever.
I just
Yeah.
went strong enough.
How do you feel about that?
What, that you give him a play?
For me, you did the right thing. You know, getting someone put away, you've got them put away.
I was angry. Like, do you know what? I was disappointed in myself. When it had time to sink in, I was disappointed in myself. I felt like I'm still weak. Like, why didn't I go through with it? Why didn't I go understand? But what Marv was saying before, like, he had a contraband phone, obviously. So I phoned it and it was off, so I texted it because I said, I'm not making a decision yet. You know, I need to speak to someone.
Shouldn't make a decision until he spoke to me,
and then he said, look, I know the court system. They will, like, tear you apart. You need to make the best decision for you, but you need to make sure that this guy cannot hurt anyone else. And that's when I thought, you know what, 5.5 years is better than nothing.
Yeah, of course it is.
Of course it is, yeah.
What do you think about the whole plea bargaining thing? On that, I agree.
Hard, isn't it?
Well, of course it is.
It's kind of unfair, really. You know, if now I believe that they don't do it now. They give you they don't give you a concurrent sentence now. If you've done 2 crimes, they give you 2 sentences.
Do they add them on?
Crimes, yeah. I was listening to it.
Should have always been that way, though.
Yeah, but back then you would get you'd get a consecutive sentence, meaning if you've done 2 completely different crimes on 2 different days,
You get 2 years for each. You're not doing 4,
they'd send you away for 2 years and give you 2 years concurrent on that. But concurrent means basically it's not added to your sentence. Only if they say it's a consecutive sentence will they add it to it.
I'll come back to you. So, a lot of time in your relationship, especially when you're locked up, you are left on your own.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
How did I deal
It
with
was
that?
hard. She had our little dog, didn't you?
Yeah.
Our little dog.
But no, when he was locked up and I lived in the hostel, that was hard. Obviously, we was going out, you know, trying to get my own money. No one was supporting me. To support myself, even though he was locked up, he was, you know, having a go at me, saying like, you know, you can't be out here committing crimes. And I was trying to say to him, I've got no one else to support me. I've got to support myself.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't want her committing crimes at all, and then she bleeding fell into a fraud gang, didn't you?
yeah,
fraud
but
gang.
it is hard. You've got to find things to occupy your mind.
Got your mind. You did it. You did.
He bought me a dog. So
Yeah.
she was the reason, you know, you've got to get up in the morning, the dog needs feeding, it needs walking.
Yeah.
You know,
Purpose. Everyone needs purpose.
Purpose. And then, you know, his phone calls would get me through. I was angry. I was angry at him, like, because every time you get out your way, I'm sorry, I won't go back. And you know in the back of your mind, like, it's going to happen because obviously he's not well, he's got an addiction.
Yeah.
But it's my choice to stay with him.
Because
like,
I would never ever do drugs around you, would I?
Yeah.
You've never seen me do it, have you?
Never in my
Never.
life.
All that time I was taking crack, I never ever did it in front of her.
Never in my life.
Did I?
ever.
Never shown it, yeah, did I? Purposely or anything, never.
So, obviously, if he goes off on 4 days on a binge, how are you feeling then?
I'm going on a rampage the first day and I'm going to go and find him.
Yeah, she's going to look
Yeah.
for her.
I know, if I know where he's been, or I'll say to someone, you see Marv? Yeah, he was at such a person's house yesterday. I'll go to that house, I'll go to his mate's shop. And, you know, a few times out of it, I would find him. But then, if he'd been there, someone would go, your bird's just been here, you know?
Yeah, she'd go into my mate's shop. My mate owned a sex shop in town. He should go in there because he'd give me money all the time. Every time I go in, he'd just give me 25. She'd be like, don't be giving him money for drugs, you fucking idiot, wouldn't you?
It got to the point the minute you see me, you'd go, I've not seen him, I've not seen him.
I'm not giving no money.
I've got a question
I had
for
about
you.
5 or 6 shops who'd give me money.
Not an easy one. If somebody, like now, got in touch with you and said, boyfriend, partner, fiance or whatever, is doing crack or whatever, is he going to stop doing it? You know, should I leave him or whatever?
Do you know what? Every situation's different. You've got to, I think you've got
What
to...
a cop out.
No, I'm going to explain it. I swear I used to do my head in. No, every situation's different. Like, people used to say to me, leave him. And I give him, you know, the opportunity to prove himself. But it depends. If that woman reaches out, I'm going to say to her, how does he treat you?
Yeah.
Like, is he... Not that it makes any difference.
It does matter.
What I'm saying is, it
exactly.
doesn't make a difference to your feelings because you're still lonely.
You're still lonely, yeah.
And
but
you still
it
don't
matters
understand it.
If that boy is treating you well and he's trying his hardest to switch himself off when he's around you, you know what I mean? If he's just disrespecting you, smoking
Do you know what I
drugs
think
in
it
front
comes
of
down to?
or he's having you committing crime.
It comes down to your own self-strength. If you've got the strength and you can do it, like towards the end, my strength was going because I'd done that many jail visits, you know, that many police coming through my door, that many excuses. It's hard. So
How'd you sort of come to the end? Like,
it becomes draining. You change, you eat, like I just said to you before with his age, because he's spent that long in jail, he's stuck at that mentality age where I'm out here and I'm building my life and, you know, I'm maturing, like, you know, I've got my house.
Getting older, love.
She's got it spot on. That's when I first seen her that day on that New Year's Eve. Because I'd done so much jail, Sam, I'd done absolutely loads of jobs, in, out. I'd never looked at women as like, obviously I'd been with girls like just quick relationship, but I'd never like looked at anyone like in a wanting to be with. So when I seen her, to me she kind of looked my age. You know, I needed to look in the mirror and see I was probably a few years
younger than
on.
me.
That's
Still
what I mean.
does.
I like
you've
it.
seen him, come on.
Yeah,
Don't deny it.
like it's quick, I need to manage,
But yeah, towards the end, it gets hard.
Yeah.
Because you know, you go from, you've not been in the jail for months and then you're in the jail every other week and then you've got the screws going, back again.
Yeah.
You know, and they start getting to know you.
It becomes a familiar
Well,
thing.
of course you do. What else are you going to see when you see someone walking in reception?
That's what I'm saying.
Back again?
I used to feel terrible letting it get searched and all that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how many people like Marv, you know, you working in reception or whatever, doing overtime, or you take them from K-Wing or whatever down to reception.
Yeah.
It's like the taxi conversation. You
Yeah,
don't get a
that's
taxi when you're working to, is it being busy? It's the same
You
shit.
know what they used to do that had been up to anything nice,
Yeah, but-
apart from coming to me or...
But you know they're coming back.
Yeah,
A lot of them.
Yeah.
However, me, I've always said this, I think one of the hardest things in life is living with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it definitely is, yeah.
Yeah, but when sometimes we've not always lived together, have we? Don't.
No.
So like we don't like now.
How long you live together now?
Well, we don't really live together.
He
now.
comes and stays with
Just
being a
come and
baby,
stay.
but he lives at his dad's. It works better that way.
On paper, yeah.
Oh yeah,
on
definitely.
that, yeah.
I
so
can't
like-
say that, can I? I last might see that.
Oh, you're going to get in trouble.
No, it is difficult. Relationships are difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got... You know what? Like, I think, like, I thought about this, like, 15 years, like, how do you last? Especially what we've been through. It's just, if you want it, you've got to fight for it. And what happens nowadays, now I do sound old, don't I?
No.
Is that they think it's, like, they'll look and think they want it all now, but you don't get it all now. It's a process, and you've got to work at it. You know, you've got to grow your love, you've got to grow your trust, you've got to like being in each other's company.
Yeah, but you've always said about them people who are like on the street and they're flashy and they're doing the drug. You've always said to the girls, stay clear. of
Yeah,
them, like,
that's just like a lemonade, like champagne lifestyle. You know, through being a drug dealer or whatever. None of that's ever. I've never
to
been
that,
attracted
have you?
to anything like that.
It
Nothing.
you've always told people who you speak to, it doesn't really wash, does it? It's not
No,
really.
it don't wash
Don't
you,
get
mate.
away. Don't get with someone who's doing that flash work because
No.
he's not going to last. He's going to go to jail before you know it, and then you're going to be on your own again, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's what you've told.
Do you know
your
what?
friends,
Going back
haven't
to
you?
that question, I probably, if someone did reach out to me, or like I knew the person, I probably would say, do you know what? You need to think about it. Like, are you willing to put yourself through that heartache? Can you see a future after it, or are you just seeing the person as a drug addict?
Did you ever sort of, I already probably think that you did quite a few times say, right, take yourself off, get yourself clean,
Yeah.
or we're done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Many a time.
Many a time.
Many a time.
I used to. Yeah, of course you did. Yeah.
I'd lock him out, I'd turn my phone off, I wouldn't reply to his
Yeah, of course.
letters,
Yeah.
and then he'd give me space, or, you know, he'd phone me, you're going to book a visit, no, I'm not booking
I tell
a
her,
visit.
I want my brother to stay with me though. I tell
No,
her
he
all
told me
the
from
time.
day one, he just, like, when he got locked up, he got recalled and went back to jail for 9 months. He phoned me and he said, right, this is it, and I was like, no, well, like, what, I've not done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, it's for your own good. Like, I'll still be your friend, no right to you and whatever.
That's what I said to her. And when I got out of jail, I said to her, when I get out, if we want to take our relationship anything further, your dad has got to give us the green light. Because now you're back managing your life. I want you to move on. But if your dad says, yeah, all right, you can keep dating and whatnot. So what I did is Christmas Day, didn't I? Went up with you Christmas Day.
Yeah.
They'd never seen me before. I just bounced in. Hi, Mrs. Redmond. Hello, Mr. Redmond. All the kids, all the children there. Some of them a bit older than you, weren't there? So,
This makes me laugh, this.
Yeah.
Because you took him to your house Christmas Day,
Yeah.
and you didn't say anything, did you?
No,
I can't even imagine.
No, me and my dad had a conversation on Christmas morning. It was the first time in my life that I'd ever had a drink with my dad, right? And we was getting drunk, and then he was saying to me, "I know you've got a boyfriend, and I know he's in prison." So I was like, "Oh, Dad, please, just meet him. You'll like him. You like him." And he went, "Okay, bring him now, but don't tell your mum."
Christmas Day, though. It's what,
Of all
it's got to be
days.
the most awkward day.
Of all days, it's family time, isn't it?
I had no one.
But we didn't have no somewhere to go because he was going to a hotel for his Christmas dinner.
My dad never spoke to me all the way through my drug addiction. So from when I was 17 to 40, I never spoke to my dad.
No, you just...
Was it a good dinner?
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, they
Whoa.
looked after me.
He stalled, then I'm going to tell my mum later.
No, just thinking.
Oh, I'm going to tell my mum later.
No rice and peas,
No.
chicken.
I got a warning, like I got a warning, like off a dad. And
I never
one
knew
of the
that.
lads.
Scarborough warning.
I got a warning off a dad and one of the lads.
Oh, I
like,
can imagine what it was.
Yeah. So, but luckily for me,
you messed my daughter about. Like.
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
You
but
would have gone along the lines, yeah.
yeah, luckily for me, I'm not a man to hit women. I've never have. It's not my cup of tea. So, when he said to me, "You better not hit my daughter, you better not hurt her, and you better treat her good," I was like,
I think that's how I knew he was special, because my dad accepted him.
"I'll treat her good. Don't worry about that."
Oh, he's special, all right.
But I was still on drugs.
we know
Special
that.
needs.
I was still on that. I know.
You know, I can't look after him.
Yeah, special needs. Yeah, but you know, it's been an incredible journey. But the only thing that I feel for is the police not harassment. The police.
What's
Well,
that?
you've already said you get used to it.
there.
You get used to it,
Mine,
constantly.
you know, because they from
You know
through
you're
all
in love with a
the-
criminal when your door's coming off
Yeah.
all times of
Regular.
day.
And they'll tell you that what you're having a go at us for. He's the one committing the crime.
Well, used to say to her, "Leave him, and you will get him." What was he saying? Telling you to leave me and all that,
Yeah.
whatnot. But I agree. I was agreeing. I'd say, I'm a drug addict. I'm never going to change. She'd be telling me, "You aren't going to change. You aren't
It's all
going to get
different thing.
better."
When if you'll change, you'll get better. I
She
just
believed
seen
in me
something.
that I'd get off it.
Whereas everyone else was going, you'd be dead by the time you fought her. I'd be like, just don't listen to him.
Yeah, and then when we was going to the after adoption thingies, and they was telling us like, if you get clean, we can push it forward for you. You was supporting me through that one.
Yeah, because I said it wasn't right if you can't go searching for your real family and turn up on the doorstep with a drug addiction, because I know how it feels to live with it.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have been fair.
I want, even though I was desperately missing my mum, and every minute of the day I knew it was there's a chance that I'm not going to see her. I couldn't do it on drugs. That was my fighting urge to get clean.
Is that when you got clean?
No.
No.
That
I
came
was
many years
working
ago.
with the adoption agency for many, many years, since before I met Kira.
Yeah.
And the woman who I worked with was incredible. She retired after 35 years to the day I met my birth aunties, because my birth aunties come up to London, from London to meet me. So she retired that day after 35 years. What was I going to say about it then? Yeah, it was just an incredible journey. We went on the right journey, didn't we?
Yeah, you couldn't have done it when you was on drugs.
Oh my God, you're smiling.
I always smile.
We couldn't have done it on the drug while I was on the drugs. It was just an impossibility, wasn't it?
Yeah. No,
And
you
you're
did.
still together now?
Yeah, she kept saying to me,
Still
sorry,
together
the woman, my adoption agency worker, the one who worked with who retired, she kept saying to me, every appointment, Lee's not always an happy ending at the end of the rainbow. And I didn't know what she meant, Sam. I just thought she meant, like, she kept warning me, like, not everyone gets the right answers after
But that's
the
why I
open
didn't want him
adoption
to
file.
try and find him when he was on drugs.
Because if I found him when I was on drugs, I might have just crumbled and just took more drugs. So I was hoping for certain answers, but certain answers don't always come, did he, Sam? So I was hoping to find my mum. I was thinking, gonna get my mum when I got clean. I'm gonna get my mum, and then.
But even when he found out about his mum, I've been asked this question before. Was I scared that he was going to relapse? Go back and crack. I wasn't.
Nah.
I knew
never
that he
relapsed.
wouldn't. Never. Once he gave it
never
up,
relapsed,
he
did I?
never relapsed.
No, I never relapsed after I stopped it. But yeah, it was an hard stop. It was an hard stop to do it, but I was determined to do it. Do you know what I mean? I was determined.
How long have
to
you been
live
clean
a normal
now?
life. 2012, haven't I?
10 years in September.
Yeah, about 2012.
10 years in September.
Yeah, I got out of jail September, and I didn't didn't go buying drugs after that, did I?
No.
No. You locked me in your house for a little while.
Sure.
When the last time you went to prison?
Same.
July. The same in 10 years in July. That's the
10
last
years
time.
in July, yeah. I went to
So
prison.
it's been an amazing, happy 10 years, has it?
Well, no.
No. Still been a struggle. So it's not all like, oh, you don't have to.
Well,
it's all rosy.
serious. On a serious note, this, sometimes people need to know that because they sometimes look at other people and think, they come through all this.
Yeah.
But it'll be a continuing
Yeah,
battle, won't it? Because you both got, you've had some trauma in your lives and that.
Yeah.
However,
It's not that though, like when you get out, because he's been a drug addict for that long, and he was in jail for that long, he's got to then go through a process of
Acclimatise.
living like like learning to walk again, like
Yeah,
learning
it's just the basics,
to feel worthy enough to be in society with normal people.
Yeah, because I never felt, as a drug addict, you don't feel worthy to be the same as everyone else. You don't feel like you're a human being. You feel like there's a lesser race, you know what I mean? That's why there's a lot of people who can beg now, because you just feel like you're under the race a little bit, under the human race, do you know what I mean?
Like you didn't go anywhere really for a couple of years, did you?
I couldn't know, I was just learning stuff, wasn't I? Studying and whatnot, and then we'll get to, me and Sam are going to talk about what happened after that.
for the future, what you just...
Well, we've just had the baby, and the baby's born. So he's 2. We're looking forward to his future, aren't we?
Yeah. Take him one day at a time, that's what I say to
one
him.
day, yeah.
Don't look for tomorrow.
We've both got issues, we've both got complexities, but we both work well together, don't we?
Yeah,
We try and keep it together, don't
You
we?
still struggle. I
Yeah.
think in any relationship you'll struggle, but with the issues that you've got separate and I've got separate, and then throw the baby into the mix and your family issues and my family issues, you've got to fight for what you want, and it's not easy being parents, is it?
No, it's not easy being parents. It's not easy being a parents, and then you go with everything else what we carry.
Yeah,
with
that's
us
what
as
I'm
well,
saying, yeah.
Our load as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So but we manage, don't we? We do every day.
Take one day at a time. What do I always say to you? You have to think about today, because tomorrow you're not promised.
That's
tomorrow you might
exactly.
not even wake up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
that's
you
it.
can stress today thinking about tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
true.
tomorrow
Yeah.
night, and that's how I got through him being a criminal and being a drug addict.
It's true. But when I got clean, I started studying and I started doing. Well, we'll talk about that, won't we? We're going to talk about that later. So, but yeah.
You can.
Sling it. I think now you should put the kettle on.
Yeah, we'll have a break.
I'll give Kira a hug.
Yeah, because she's a superstar.
You can have one too.
My dear bro Sambo.
All right, you're squashing me.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
I'll sit there.
Guys,
I'm not saying it.
Say it.
Go on.
Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
No, you say it.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
All
Say
right.
it. Say it.
I'll sit there.